Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
New at 6, the search continues for two suspects wanted in connection with the armed robbery of two pharmacies in Seguin. But now authorities know exactly who they're looking for. The two men sought by law enforcement are identified as 38-year-old Andre Dupree Jack and 37-year-old Alesco Factor. Turns out the pair are also suspected of robberies in Sealy and Pleasanton.
We have reported on the Seguin robberies, the most recent back on May 8th. That was at the 10-Minute Pharmacy. Police say Jack went in with a gun demanding drugs and cash, and after he got it, he tied up the victim with zip ties. Months before that, on December 14th, investigators say Jack and Factor, along with a third suspect, hit the Seguin pharmacy in the same way. Officials say both men should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on these suspects is asked to call Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers 1-877-403-TIPS.
New at 6, Texas already has a border wall here and there stretching over 450 miles between El Paso and Brownsville. Some are new sections. Most of it involved replacing fencing that was old and dilapidated, all of it federally funded. Well,
now Governor Greg Abbott has said that he wants the state of Texas to build its own wall in response to the record influx of migrants at the border. Jesse Degollado now with reaction to the little that's known so far about the governor's plan.
I will announce next week the plan for the state of Texas to begin building the border wall in the state of Texas.
Support for it was resounding in Del Rio, given the influx of migrants the community has been seeing. Still unknown is whether a Texas wall would pick up where President Trump's wall ended. President Biden halted construction soon after he took office. Where it would go, how much it would cost, or how it would be paid for could be what Governor Abbott will announce next. What puzzles at least one lawmaker is why the governor didn't bring it up when the legislature was still in session.
So if this was something that was of top of mind for Governor Abbott, I would have hoped that we would have had a chance to discuss it when the legislature's in town so that we can obviously weigh in.
The governor's announcement certainly caught people's attention.
It sounds to me like lots of politics, very light on substance.
A sentiment echoed by a Republican Party leader in Del Rio.
I'll be honest with you, some of it was just fluff. It was fluff. It was just kicking the can down the road, and it was throwing more money at the problem and just getting more intertwined with bureaucracy.
Governor Abbott has set the stage ahead of next week's big reveal of what exactly he has in mind. And when he does,
I certainly have a lot to say about it.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
A day after San Antonio police released footage from two fatal shootings, questions remain about the significant editing done to both those videos. SAPD officials late yesterday published footage on YouTube from an April 15th shooting outside a San Antonio International Airport terminal, and then from the fatal shooting of two people during a traffic stop on Penn Road a day later. They are the first videos provided since the department introduced a body camera video release policy back in December. But they both included edits and narration over the footage. One police accountability expert we talked to says context is important in cases like this, but that the public should be given access to unedited footage as well.
Let videos speak for themselves, because what will happen is it could cause people to be more suspicious if there's narration over it.
SAPD officials today refused to make Chief William McManus available for an interview. A second version of the Penn Road footage without narration was shared with the media from a private YouTube link, which department officials asked not to be shared publicly because it lacked context.
New at 6, a Kerrville man facing sex assault and child pornography charges after the Texas Attorney General's office got a tip from law enforcement in North Carolina. 29-year-old Christopher Allen Cuellar was arrested yesterday in the 100 block of Westminster Avenue. Officers say Cuellar did not give up when they got there, resisting arrest, a search, and his trip to the jail. According to authorities, the investigation started when police in Boone, North Carolina, reported Cuellar's online activity to the AG's office. Investigators say Cuellar discussed the production and sharing of child pornography through social media with officers there. Kerr County investigators say they found videos and images related to the sexual assault of two underage girls. He's also facing several charges. He's currently being held in the Kerr County Jail.
The incorrect name on that last image you saw, it applies to this story. San Antonio police making an arrest in connection with a deadly hit and run on the city's west side last night. 18-year-old Melanie Mariah Gaitan charged with intoxication, manslaughter, and failure to stop and render aid. Officers say she drove onto a sidewalk, hitting and killing 29-year-old Monique Rodriguez, who was sitting on a bench. According to investigators, Gaitan was speeding and tried to pass another driver, then ended up on the wrong side of the road, then that sidewalk. Police say she and her passenger tried to make a run for it, but they didn't get far before officers stopped them. A man on trial for stalking his estranged wife's boss in 2019 found guilty this afternoon. It took the jury about 4 hours to convict Bobby Martinez today. While stalking is a third-degree felony, Martinez is facing a sentence of 25 years up to life in prison. The stiffer punishment is due to Martinez's previous criminal record and being in jail twice before this latest charge. His sentencing is scheduled for August 19th.
One man is in the hospital after being shot by his roommate on the city's southwest side. Police responded to a call for a shooting just before 5 o'clock this morning in the 5400 block of Middlefield Road off of Medina Base Road. Police still looking for that suspect involved. Alicia Barrera has more.
Disturbance between two females. Okay, started fight. Their boyfriends get involved as well. And next thing you know, one suspect pulls out a gun and shoots the victim in the left arm.
Overnight, this home on Middlefield Road became a bloody crime scene. At least 6 people were inside.
Yes, they all live there. Okay, so they're all there during at the time of the shooting.
Police say the shooter, a 25-year-old man, more than likely used a shotgun and took off on foot.
From there, he takes off southbound from this location. We know who he is, or we believe we know who he is.
Police use Eagle and canines to track down the suspect in the surrounding area. The victim, a 29-year-old man, was shot in the left arm.
The occupants of the house had already wrapped his arm up. The victim's unstable but serious.
The victim underwent surgery at University Hospital and is recovering. When arrested, the suspect will be charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
That was Alicia Barrera reporting. 4 new city council members will be sworn in Tuesday, shaking up leadership for most of the southern half of the city. One councilwoman on her way out is Rebecca Villagran, who is finishing up her 4th term. That's a maximum for a council member. Garrett Berger talks with her about her time representing the Southside District.
Probably the last CCR on this council.
On Tuesday, Rebecca Villagran will wrap up 8 years as the District 3 councilwoman.
It feels surreal being my last couple of days.
Looking back, she's happy with the money she's been able to bring to the district for infrastructure and economic development. And she's proud of the variety of opportunities in or soon coming to District 3.
So we have jobs now in District 3 that range from becoming a professor, becoming a doctor, to working at a medical school, to working in advanced manufacturing.
Though there are things she wishes she would have done differently, like realizing earlier how much influence she had as a council member.
I would have asked the city staff to do more outreach to the community, more direction to say, hey, did you do this? Why did you do this? Give me more of this. And really do that community collaboration more at the onset.
And some projects she'll have to leave unfinished, like getting a police or public safety substation built in the district or an east to west corridor.
I'm frustrated I'm not being able to see that completely through, but at least that is on people's radar, and it'll continue to be a collaboration with all of the private, public, and city entities.
But with her sister, Phyllis Villagran, as her replacement on the dais, Villagran is comfortable handing over the reins.
I know she's ready to hit the ground running and start moving forward so that there's no hiccup in the transition as she starts her administration.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam this evening. Another hot one out there. Can we say hot at this point, Adam?
Personally, I say no. It's subjective.
It seems maybe a little premature knowing what we're in for.
You spend a couple hours out there, you might.
I mean, a high temperature of 90, that's actually 2 degrees below average. So personally, I would say not hot until you get into the 97, 98 degree range and above.
It's all
of course.
relative, right?
It is. It is. It feels like it's 97 when you factor in the humidity. Right now, 89 at the airport in town, 93 Castroville. Comfort's at 90. For the most part, we're right around 90 degrees. Obviously, a few locations slightly above. Pretty quiet this evening. Temperatures slowly falling through the 80s. So a typical June evening. Notice the humidity out there. Then some increasing clouds overnight. And by the way, if you're headed to the Bay, especially for fishing this weekend, a bit of a chop on Saturday. Southeasterly wind at about 10 to 15. On Sunday, not much of a breeze at all. So smoother bays, mid-80s, and a lot of sunshine. We'll talk more about the weekend weather and even what could happen into next week in terms of rain chances coming up.
All right, thanks, Adam. It doesn't get much closer than this. First responders in Austin able to stop a boat from going over a dam. Witnesses called this in at Austin's Longhorn Dam yesterday afternoon. Travis County EMS says people there were able to attach the boat to another vessel and lower down some life vests. At one point, the boat partially went over that dam, as you can see. A police patrol boat was able to pull the passengers and their boat into open water.
Meanwhile, to the south of us, almost 60 pounds of meth landing a 20-year-old man from the United States in big trouble with the Border Patrol. Officers in South Texas say the man tried to sneak the drugs in this week at the Laredo port of entry, but he was stopped at the Juarez-Lincoln Bridge. Non-invasive imaging equipment and a Border Patrol canine were able to find 29 packets of the drugs hidden throughout the car. The driver was arrested. The meth and car seized by Border Patrol.
Alive but not out of the woods, the breathing issues COVID survivors continue to battle tonight on the Night Beat.
A suspected drunk driver accused of killing a woman waiting for a bus at this stop. Tonight at 10, family and friends seeking justice for a mother and say she will not be forgotten.
We want to go now to some late-breaking news that we are following. Sky 12 is over the Jack White Park trailhead right here. This is near Salado Creek. We've confirmed with the Bexar County Medical Examiner there is a call for discovery of possible skeletal remains in this area.
At this point, Sky 12 hovering over that scene, lots of trees, so not really able to see what's going on down there, where exactly this discovery might have been made. We don't know if it's human or animal, but if the Bexar County Medical Examiner says that that's what they're out there for, we would tend to think that it was probably human skeletal remains. So they are out there actively investigating it. As we get more information, we will certainly pass it on to you. Again, at the Jack White Park trailhead, this is near Salado Creek over on the east side.
The weekend just about here for a lot of people, but not for some road crews. Several of them will be out and about, hard at work with road closures.
Samuel King joins us now to give us all a heads up on what to watch out for. Samuel?
Tim and Myra, a lot going on this weekend, especially with the weather we're expecting. And one new closure that is new this weekend as opposed to last week is East Bexar County. So I'll take you over here to our traffic wall to show you this area. This is Eastern Bexar County, just west of 1604. And between 1516 and Wycold, westbound lanes will be completely closed Saturday, tomorrow morning, beginning at 9 p.m. on Sunday. So this is something to watch out for. There's also going to be some alternating closures on the eastbound lanes. Otherwise, other projects continue. That includes Loop 410 on the west side at State Highway 151. Main lane closures possible between West Military Drive and Marbach overnights through Monday and actually into next week. Also, there'll be some closures on State Highway 151 from West Military to Loop 410, about a 1 mile stretch there. Loop 1604 on the north side, also seeing some alternating lane closures tomorrow between Stone Oak and 281 through Sunday morning. And there's a crash there, 281. So sneaking in there, going ahead into our traffic report. Again, they're doing some construction work there, 9 a.m. through 5 a.m. on Saturday. Again, a 281 crash. Taking a look at some travel times this evening. It's going to take you 19 minutes coming inbound on I-10 from Loop 410 to downtown. Also looking at 35, also have some major issues here. 29 minutes coming from the northeast side into downtown right now. See that heavy traffic, 29 minutes. And then on the west side coming into downtown, 11 to 12 minutes. So that's looking fairly normal. We were marking earlier about this traffic here. This is also downtown, pretty much a mess right now. This is 35 at Flores. Slow traffic's been that way throughout the evening, and Tim and Myra will continue to keep an eye on it.
Days of empty highways are long gone behind us now.
That's a good thing when you think about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, so a lot of us, of course, wondering just how hot it's going to get this weekend.
It's going to be a little bit hotter than what we had the past couple of days. Actually, every day this week we hit 90 degrees for the high temperature here in San Antonio. And this weekend it's going to be slightly warmer out there. We'll tack on a few more degrees. Some rain chances as we get on and toward next week by Monday. And then, of course, I showed you the bay forecast. We got your beach forecast coming up as well. Let's take a look, first of all, at our satellite and radar and our overall weather pattern. Quiet across the state of Texas. A little bit of activity in West Texas today, not dropping much rain, but it is the part of the state where we need the rain the most, where we have the most severe and exceptional drought. Big Blue H still, for the most part, in control of our weather, but we're also watching this little area in the southern Gulf of Mexico. There's been a lot of moisture down there, deeper moisture, showers and thunderstorms. It's being trapped to the south of us for now, but once this upper level high moves northward, that moisture could open up and flow northward. That would be by about this time next week, so a long time from now. But this upper level high is going to push northward. This is mostly going to open the door to a northerly flow for us. So sometimes with that northerly flow, we get leftovers of storm complexes that hit other parts of Texas and even Oklahoma, and then we get the leftovers and a few remaining showers, maybe a few storms, and a few disturbances. The door is open for some disturbances as well. So we just have that slight chance of storms in the forecast, primarily in the afternoon hours, Monday through Thursday of next week, but that's it. Dry this weekend and no chance of rain over the next couple of days. Dew points still elevated, but not as bad as earlier this week. You know, typically this time of day we see those dew points drop off a little bit. We're starting to finally see that, whereas earlier this week, we did not have that at all. But still, the oppressive humidity's here and it's going to remain in place all the way through the weekend. Let's talk temperatures. Couple locations of triple digits, Del Rio and Laredo, both at 100, 91 in Hondo. Meanwhile, 89 Kerrville and Fredericksburg, and 89 officially at the airport in San Antonio. But Stinson on the south side currently at 94 degrees. So by tomorrow morning, we're looking at readings mostly in the 70s. I think mid 70s for most of us. Del Rio could even be right near 80 degrees for a morning temperature. But 77 Laredo, 75 Beeville, 75 Gonzales, and here in San Antonio, mid 70s. By the afternoon on your Saturday, find a pool, a splash pad, or even just go to the beach. I mean, Corpus Christi will still make it up to about 90, but along the beach will be in the mid 80s and even on the bays in the mid 80s. Look at the Rio Grande, back near and slightly above 100. Even the Hill Country making it into the low 90s tomorrow. Bernie 92, Lake Hills 92. You get to Converse 93 along with Stone Oak. Elmendorf 95 and Castroville 95. And we get into Sunday, I think it's going to be slightly warmer for most of us. So by and large, low 90 or low 90s around San Antonio Saturday. By Sunday, we'll tack on a few more degrees. The brief morning clouds will give way to a lot of sunshine. So the typical pattern of some morning clouds, but then a lot of sun. We'll have a breeze on Saturday, only 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Sunday, just light and variable. You're not going to notice much of a breeze. As for the beach, on Saturday, it's a bit of a breeze out there. That's noticeable along the coast there on the beaches. South at 10 to 15, gusting to 20, so waves of about 3 to 4 feet. And then Sunday, a better day. It's not going to be as breezy, not as gusty, and waves will be a little bit lower. There's that slight chance of rain. Starting on Monday, some afternoon pop-up showers and storms. We also can't rule out the leftovers of say any thunderstorm complex that develops to the north. That's just one of the elements of that shift in our weather pattern. And then we'll look for a potential of some of that Gulf moisture toward the end of next week. But right now, indications are that's going to slide east of us.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Larry, the Cowboys brought in a new defensive coordinator to fix things on that side of the ball. Can he do it?
So far, it seems to be promising because his players really like him, like what he's bringing. In fact, he's very high energy. He's a player's coach. I'm talking about Dan Quinn, and the Cowboys D-line in particular seems to really enjoy him. Plus, Wagner's Jordan Clarkson is taking care of business both on and off the court. I mean, this young man is really stepping up. Coming up.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
A key to the upcoming season for the Dallas Cowboys is whether or not new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn can work his magic to improve the porous defense from 2020. Quinn, who was hired 5 months ago by Dallas, values stopping the run, which is why he added defensive tackle Brent Urban, who's 6'7", 305 pounds. Quinn is a high-energy, hands-on coach, and Urban loves it.
He's the man. As soon as he called me, he called me way back in March. He's a very high energy guy, I guess you could put it, and he's just one of the guys as well. You know, he's a great players coach, and you know, he's cool, man. He's young, cool. He played D line, so you know, a lot of us D linemen gravitate towards that, and you know, he's just a fun guy to be around. He keeps it interesting. You know, we'll switch up meetings certain ways, or he'll let players lead stuff, and he keeps things fresh, which allows us to just have more fun with it than your, you know, daily grind that we often get used to.
Meanwhile, Houston Texans rookie wide receiver Nico Collins is said to be looking good during offseason workouts. 7-year veteran receiver Brandon Cook said Nico doesn't look like a rookie to him. He learns fast and is explosive with natural hands. Now that head coach David Coley canceled minicamp after being pleased with OTAs, the Texans won't meet again until training camp begins July 27th. The Utah Jazz beat the Clippers last night 117-111, taking a 2-0 lead in that Western Conference semifinal. Recently named Sixth Man of the Year, Jordan Clarkson provided his usual spark off the bench with 24 points in 27 minutes, making 6 of 9 3-point attempts. We all know he can score, but he's also taking care of business on defense against the Clippers.
Us just kind of locking in, knowing it's playoffs, knowing each possession matters, knowing we going against, you know, great matchups, and you know, we just out there competing and doing what we're trying to do to get wins.
In case you missed it, Clarkson did a wonderful thing for a well-known Filipino food truck in Utah. After the world-famous Yum Yum food truck was spray-painted with anti-Asian graffiti, Clarkson, a Filipino-American, helped pay for the truck to get wrapped with a new paint job. The owner of the truck says Clarkson wouldn't take no for an answer. This is going down as the fight of the summer for boxing fans in San Antonio. Mario Barrios will put his title belt on the line to face Gervonta Davis in 2 weeks. And now Showtime Sports will air a 2-part behind-the-scenes preview both fighters. It all goes down tonight, and Barrios shared some thoughts about having the Showtime crew follow him around for 5 days to make the 2-part all-access episodes.
The first time I've done the Showtime All Access, but you know, now everyone, you know, back home, they get to see an insight of what I get to deal with, you know, at every camp. You know, every time I go back home after my fights, everybody's always asking me, you know, what do I do, you know, to keep myself busy, you know, what does camp usually look like? And, you know, now they have, you know, firsthand look.
Episode 1 of Davis and Barrios airs at the top of the hour on Showtime. Episode 2 is next Saturday, and the pay-per-view cost has been announced for their fight. It will be $69.99. You can catch more with Mario Barrios coming up Sunday on Instant Replay. And congratulations to Max Alvarado from Highlands High School. Today, the young man signed his NOI to Sul Ross State to get an education and continue playing football. His head coach, parents, and some students were there for his special day. Guys.
That's awesome. Congratulations to him.
Absolutely. Thanks, Larry. Our KSAT Q&A is up next. He is remembered as a pioneer and a visionary within the San Antonio LGBTQ+ community, but also for our entire city. Hap Veltman had a hand in developing some of San Antonio's signature sites. A huge part of his legacy lives on today at the Bonham Exchange downtown, but that is far from the only spot. To talk about that, we welcome Melissa Golke, Assistant Archivist for UTSA Special Collections and a historian of local LGBTQ+ history. Melissa, thanks for being with us here today. It is really incredible when you think about this man's legacy. So just start by telling us who Hap Veltman was.
Hap Veltman was a very successful business entrepreneur and real estate developer in San Antonio. He grew up in the city, and he recalled in his part of his memoir about walking around the city streets with his grandmother and how beautiful he thought the city was, and especially its historic buildings. Hap would refer to, later in his life, the San Antonio River as San Antonio's Main Street. When he went off to college and returned, he was very dismayed to find out that a lot of historic buildings had been razed and modern structures put up in place of those. And he really felt a personal connection to the city, to the people of the city, and to historically preserving the buildings that still existed. And he was responsible for keeping many of the iconic structures that we have today, such as the Aztec Theater. So without Hap, the city would have looked very different in the Common Era. The Riverwalk was such an intrinsic piece of his vision. He opened the Kangaroo Court back in the late 1960s, which was the first commercial establishment to really take off on the Riverwalk, and it kickstarted development of the Riverwalk and what we see today. So he truly was a visionary on many levels, ensuring that the city was preserved for its citizens. He understood the importance of tourism to San Antonio, but he was very focused on the folks that lived here and making sure that this city stayed livable for them. I think he'd be very impressed with the current landscape of San Antonio and how it's extended beyond his original vision with the downtown core in the Riverwalk, and has pushed south and north to really accommodate San Antonians and enjoying the river, and in fact, using it as San Antonio's Main Street.
We've been showing some images from UTSA Special Collections, and part of that, I mean, the Special Collections encompasses a wide range of topics, but part of some of what we've been showing are some of the LGBTQ plus publications that UTSA has helped preserve, and HAP was integral in creating a safe space for those in that community, which was really revolutionary back in the 70s.
It was. He brought a very modern vision to the LGBT community in San Antonio and lifted them out of these dark, derelict spaces to which they had previously been combined. When he opened the San Antonio Country, it was a very visible statement that invited in not only members of the LGBTQ community, but anyone who had a liberated sensibility and really wanted to experience the whole of San Antonio. It was known at the time as the largest gay disco in Texas. And in fact, it may have been one of the largest gay discos in the United States.
And while you're talking about San Antonio Country, most people might not realize that back then it was often the target of police raids, and then he was also involved in military hearings. Talk a little bit about that history.
Yes, the San Antonio Country, while it was extremely popular, it drew some very unwanted attention from both local police and military police. Homosexuality, while it was more visible during the 70s because of gay liberation, there was still a lot of persecution, and local police, and in particular military police, would raid the club on a regular basis. In December of 1973, just a few days before Christmas, police MPs raided the club and began pulling patrons out into the street and arresting them. Hap went before a military hearing to fight what was known as an off-limits designation. In other words, the military would have put the establishment, the country, off limits to any military personnel, which would be a hit in the pocketbook of the club, not to mention the fact that it was really turning away a segment of a very important population in San Antonio.
Hap was an attorney. He also had a hand in developing the Blue Star Arts Complex, the St. Mary's Strip, and of course, we mentioned at the top of this Q&A segment, his legacy living on at the Bottom Exchange, which opened after San Antonio Country and is still, despite this last year with COVID, still up and running today and very well known. So Melissa, I thank you for your time, for being here. This is the focus of an upcoming episode of our streaming show, KSAT Explains, and the impact that Hap has had. You lend your expertise in that episode as well, and just shaping our city as a whole, not only for the LGBTQ plus community, but for all of us, so many of the sites that we know and love. So that episode is going to be available to check out next week, next Tuesday, starting at 7 p.m. on KSAT.com. Melissa Golke with UTSA Special Collections, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Things getting a little bit better on the roads this evening, but we still have some issues here and there, including on the northeast part of our area. I-35 southbound at Alamo Parkway had an earlier stall, but that is improving. Just a few minutes ago, this was up to 40 minutes between New Braunfels and 410. Now you're down to 32 minutes, 23 minutes heading outbound on this Friday evening. Downtown, these delays also getting a little bit better, but still see some delays on 35 southbound, also at I-10. And here is Loop 410 at Ingram. I just thought this was an interesting perspective. You can see lanes of traffic going there. Things are moving, but traffic is heavy as people head out and about on a Friday night. Tim and Myra.
All right, thank you, Samuel. Look outside with live cam right now. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of heat, because 'tis the season. Let's head over to the Weather Center with Adam Caskey to find out how the weekend is shaping up.
Well, it's actually going to shape up to be a little bit hotter than what we have out there right now. So temperatures will jump a few more degrees into the weekend. It'll be a good weekend for hitting up a pool, a splash pad, or even just going to the beach. It's all going to be agreeable. 89 right now, so we're still near 90 degrees. South wind at 10. We'll gradually fall through the 80s this evening and start tomorrow in the mid 70s with some clouds overhead. We'll talk about our next chance of storms, and I'll give you your forecast for the bays even coming right up.
The hype train is leaving for the latest Jurassic Park / World offering, but Jurassic World Evolution 2, it's not a movie, it's a video game. But a couple of veterans of the franchise are involved. Jeff Goldblum is reprising his role as Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Life finds a way. Evolution 2 is a game simulation that challenges players to build new Jurassic worlds with new environments. Players will have their pick of the dinosaurs featured in the movies, of course. Goldblum will not be the only character to cross over from the film and appear in the game. Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays Claire Deering, will also be featured. Jurassic World Evolution 2 launches on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox later this year.
All right. Urban air travel is starting to look like it's actually going to be a reality. At least the push for it is there. American Airlines and Virgin Atlantic have ordered new electric flying taxis from a UK startup called Vertical Aerospace. The company says it has up to 1,000 pre-orders of its zero emissions aircraft.
Are these the flying cars we've been promised all these years?
I don't know.
They look a little too difficult. That's worth about $4 billion. The VAX 4 air taxis travel up to 200 miles per hour with a range of over 100 miles. A prototype is currently in production with the first test flight planned later this year.
The driverless cars still give me some concerns. We are still more than a week away from the official start of summer, but one of the favorite foods of summer getting the spotlight today. June 11th is National Corn on the Cob Day. Depending on where you are in the country, corn on the cob is known by many names: pole corn, corn stick, sweet pole, butter pop, or long maize.
In Mexico and many parts of the USA, they serve it up Mexican street style and call it elote. Boiling, steaming, roasting, and grilling are some of the most common ways to prepare corn on the cob, and it's perfectly proper etiquette to eat it by holding the cob with each end in your fingers. But if you want to be fancy, you get the little plastic corn on the cob things and put the metal skewers in, and then your hands don't get so dirty.
That's what gives corn on the cob so much nostalgia for me. You had to have those little
We have
little
them.
small ears.
But we always have to go searching in the drawer to find enough so everybody has one.
And then just lather it with butter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You roll it in the butter. That's how you do it.
That's right. You get it on the plate because you got to have the 2 little ears of corn on the end. Give the proper roll.
And you need a lot of dental floss when you're done.
Yes,
That's the other thing about corn on the cob. Especially if they don't husk it right. You know, you have those little hairs in it. Anyway, can you tell it's a quiet weather pattern right now?
Because we got time to
about
devote to corn. Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have actually some elements of our forecast to talk about that will be changing a little bit in the days ahead, and some stuff to look out for, but nothing this weekend, really. It's going to be a quiet weekend. 90 right now, or I should say our high temperature today, 90 degrees. Every day this work week, we had a high temperature of 90. Today was the 5th day in a row. Hondo made it to 91, Cotulla 94, Del Rio up to 102 for the high temperature today. Let's go outside right now. 89 degrees at the International Airport. Of course, we're seeing the control tower off in the distance. Dew point is 71. The afternoon dew point isn't as bad today as it was earlier in the week. We're starting to see that humidity drop off a little bit in the afternoon. Air temperatures right now near 90 along the coast, and even the coastal plain, Victoria, Beeville, 90 degrees. Meanwhile, 100 Laredo, up on into Del Rio, and 92 Pleasanton, 89 in Kerrville. Here's the bigger picture. Lubbock 102, Midland 103, and El Paso 103. This looks like a summertime map, at least, you know, relative to this time of year. Our temperature has really been just a couple of degrees below average in terms of the afternoon high. Morning lows have been above average, so it's just about a wash there lately. Some activity off to the north of us, and it's pretty much going to stay there. It's being deflected away from us from the Big Blue H, the upper level high overhead. But West Texas had a few little showers pop up. That's important because that's the part of the state we need the rain the absolute most is out in West Texas. And this upper level ridge is going to actually push northward. So it's not going to be planted directly over us in the coming days. And eventually that's going to just open the door for some disturbances and the potential of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. We've also been watching this activity down in the southern Gulf. A lot of moisture, deep moisture with that, some heavy tropical showers and thunderstorms associated with it. As the upper level high pushes northward, there's a chance that some of this could get unlocked and move northward and affect parts of the Gulf coastline and the Gulf Coast states. Right now, indications would be some of that moisture would be closer to Louisiana and eastward. Here's what we're looking at, though, as we get into next week. So that upper level high slowly works its way northward. And once it's displaced from us, due to that clockwise circulation around it, we get that northerly flow. And sometimes that just throws a few disturbances at us, because within that flow we'll have little ripples, little bursts of energy, and that can then help trigger a few thunder showers. And we could even have just some afternoon pop-ups, especially along the coastal plain. So this weekend, dry. Monday through Thursday of next week, at that point, we're looking at that 20% chance pretty much daily. So a few isolated pop-ups possible, or even the remnants of thunderstorm complexes that are off to the north of us. Sometimes we get the remnants of those in that kind of flow next week. Nothing like what we've had over the past several weeks, though. It's not going to be the same setup. 76 in the morning tomorrow, 93 by the afternoon. We'll start the day with some clouds, and then, of course, we'll see a lot of sunshine for the majority of the day. More specifically, you get west of town, south of San Antonio, will be triple digits. From Cotulla to Carrizo Springs to Del Rio, Eagle Pass, back up to 100. Von Army about 96, New Braunfels 93 tomorrow afternoon, Timberwood Park and Leon Springs, high temperatures of about 92. On Sunday, we bump it up a few more degrees, 95 in San Antonio, and even warmer in some outlying areas. And not much of a breeze on Sunday, that's the thing. If you're headed to the base to go fishing, slight chop on Saturday, southeast wind at 10 to 15, and then smoother on Sunday. Again, no big changes next week temperature-wise, just those daily isolated showers possible.
Thank you, Adam.
We'll be right back. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
Good morning to you, Rise and Shine. It is Friday, June 11th.
We have new details now on a fatal road rage shooting from earlier this week. The 63-year-old man involved and who was killed has been identified as Zoltan Varga. San Antonio police say Varga was shot Wednesday at a gas station on Potranco Road near Loop 1604.
Still working to learn the name of a woman killed in a crash overnight. They say the driver was heading home from work when the woman stepped into the road. The driver did not see that woman until it was too late. She died there at the scene.
In a new move, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has extended the shelf life of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine by expanding the viability from 3 months to 4.5 months. Doses that were set to expire will still be considered usable, potentially saving millions of doses.
Their walkout was to stop what Fisher says is the most discriminatory voter suppression bill in the country. He says having a national voting rights bill would help stop many other states from joining Texas, Florida, Georgia, and now Arizona from passing similar legislation.
The plan for the state of Texas to begin building the border wall in the state of Texas.
Support for it was resounding in Del Rio, given the influx of migrants the community has been seeing. Still unknown is whether a Texas wall would pick up where President Trump's wall ended. President Biden halted construction soon after he took office. Where it would go, how much it would cost, or how it would be paid for could be what Governor Abbott will announce next.
Some delays heading on I-10 into downtown, down to 14 miles per hour approaching I-37. So how that looks on your traffic time, 9 minutes inbound on I-10 from Loop 410. Still some delays on 35 at Flores. Adam.
This weekend, pretty quiet, but it's going to be a warm one. Good pool weather this weekend. A lot of sunshine, low to mid 90s. Of course, you'll notice some humidity out there. Then next week, we could see a few rogue showers or storms periodically Monday through Thursday as our weather pattern takes a bit of a turn. But remember, the average high right now is 92 degrees. We're not going to be very far from that.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
And thanks for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you back here for the Night Beat tonight at 10. Have a good evening.